For the last 2 decades, Silicon Valley sold us a very specific myth. The myth of the boy genius. The college dropout in a hoodie who sees the future clearer than the rest of us. We gave them billions of dollars. We put them on the covers of Forbes and Fortune, and we trusted them to change the world. But today, the most famous tech founders aren't changing the world from a Silicon Valley boardroom. They are watching it pass by from inside a federal prison cell. Why is the tech industry suddenly producing more convicted felons than revolutionary products? How did we get from move fast and break things to commit wire fraud and go to jail? To understand this epidemic of fake geniuses, we have to look at the psychological engine of the tech world. Venture capital. When you are a founder trying to raise money, you aren't really selling a product. You are selling a story about the future. And for a long time, the industry standard was fake it till you make it. You promise the impossible, secure the funding, and hope your engineers can actually build the thing before the money runs out. But what happens when the physics of reality catch up with the marketing? Elizabeth Holmes. She dropped out of Stanford and founded Theranos, claiming she could run hundreds of complex medical tests from a single drop of blood. She raised over $700 million and reached a staggering valuation of $9 billion, based entirely on a machine that simply did not work. Holmes didn't start out wanting to be a criminal. She started out playing the Silicon Valley game perfectly. But when the tech fundamentally failed, instead of admitting defeat, she doubled down. She falsified lab results and lied to investors. That crosses a hard line from a failed startup into criminal fraud. In November 2022, the game officially ended. Holmes was sentenced to 11 and a quarter years in federal prison for criminally defrauding investors. Holmes was the canary in the coal mine. Her sentencing signaled a massive cultural shift. The Department of Justice was sending a message. Fake it till you make it is no longer a valid legal defense. But the sickness in the system had already spread. If Holmes proved you could fake biotech, others realized you could fake just about anything if the story was compelling enough. Take Trevor Milton, the founder of Nikola Motor Company. He promised a revolution in electric and hydrogen-powered commercial trucking. He famously unveiled a sleek, futuristic semi-truck to investors and the public. He even posted a video of the Nikola One truck cruising smoothly down a desert highway. It looked exactly like the future of transportation. There was just one problem. The truck didn't actually have a working engine. They had simply towed an empty shell to the top of a low-grade hill and let gravity roll it down while filming it. Milton used the hype to take his company public, briefly pushing its valuation higher than the Ford Motor Company. But gravity eventually catches up to everyone. In December 2023, Milton was sentenced to 4 years in prison and ordered to pay a $1 million fine for repeatedly lying to retail investors about the company's technological capabilities. The founders become completely detached from the reality of their product, intoxicated by the sky-high valuations and the media praise. But faking a blood test or rolling a truck down a hill is small change compared to what happened when the fake-it culture collided with the unregulated Wild West of crypto. If you want to see the ultimate evolution of the Silicon Valley fraudster, look no further than Sam Bankman-Fried. SBF was the CEO of the crypto exchange FTX. He wore cargo shorts to meetings with heads of state, played video games during pitch meetings, and was hailed by the media as the next Warren Buffett. Bankman-Fried wasn't faking a physical product, he was faking a financial empire. He took billions of dollars in customer deposits money. Everyday people trusted him to hold Saflian secretly funneled into his own private hedge fund, Alameda Research, to make massive, risky bets and buy luxury real estate. When the crypto market turned sour, the black hole in his balance sheet was exposed. $8 billion of customer money had vanished into thin air. The fallout was nuclear. On March 28th, Sam Bankman-Fried was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison for orchestrating one of the largest financial frauds in American history and was ordered to forfeit $11 billion. What makes SBF's case so chilling is the sheer scale of the deception. He used his eccentric genius persona as a shield. Investors and regulators looked at his messy hair and assumed he was too brilliant to be a con artist. They confused the lack of professionalism with profound intellect. This brings us to today. The era of the untouchable tech god is over. Regulators are no longer dazzled by the Silicon Valley mystique. The US government is actively hunting down corporate negligence in the tech sector, and they are starting at the very top. Just weeks after SBF sentencing, another titan fell. Changpeng Zhao, the founder of Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, walked into a federal courtroom. Unlike Holmes or SBF, Zhao wasn't accused of stealing customer funds. Instead, he pleaded guilty to violating the Bank Secrecy Act by prioritizing growth over implementing an effective anti-money laundering program at his company. In April 2024, Zhao was sentenced to 4 months in prison, and his company agreed to pay a staggering $4.3 billion in historic penalties. A billionaire CEO, stepping down and going to a federal facility purely for a compliance failure. 5 years ago, that would have been unthinkable. Today, it is the new standard. So, why do tech billionaires keep going to prison? Because the ecosystem that created them rewarded dilution over diligence. Venture capitalists threw billions at unproven ideas. The media worshipped their eccentricity, and for a brief, crazy decade, the stock market rewarded them for lying. But the bubble has burst. The Justice Department and the SEC have learned how to read code, analyze crypto ledgers, and see through the smoke and mirrors of the tech pitch deck. As we stand on the brink of the next massive technological wave of artificial intelligence, the stakes are higher than ever. New founders are pitching new impossible futures right now. But this time, they know the government is watching, and they know that the distance from the cover of Forbes magazine to a federal prison cell is shorter than they think. Thank you for watching AI Horizons. If you want to watch more true stories driving the future of technology, hit subscribe. We have a lot more to uncover.